Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tutor Hustle for Teachers podcast, episode 1. I am your host, Kelly Michelle Duramsky. I am a tutor and a tutor coach, and I'm so happy you're joining me here on this very first episode of the Tutor Hustle for Teachers podcast. I love creating content for Tutor Hustle for Teachers. We also have a blog, and which you can find at tutorhustleforteachers.com. And we have a YouTube channel, which you can find on YouTube at Tutor Hustle for Teachers. And now we have a podcast, which is really, really exciting because I love listening to podcasts. How about you? If you're listening to this podcast, I'm guessing that you probably like listening to podcasts too. They are a really nice way to pass the time, I find, while you're driving, or if you just want to wind down at the end of the day. That's what I do. I listen to podcasts while I knit. At the end of the day, I get out my knitting needles and I knit and I listen to podcasts, and it's really great. I love YouTube as well. I love watching YouTube. I love making YouTube videos, but it's a lot of screen time. Like, you have to actually watch the screen in many cases, right? So I thought it would be nice to have a podcast in case you can't look at a screen right now, but you still want to listen to some information and thoughts about tutoring. So that is why I created this podcast. And the topic of our very first episode is going to be podcasts. Can you believe it? Yes, we're going to be talking podcasts today because I'm going to tell you that the podcasts I listen to personally are all about tutoring or stuff that is somehow related to tutoring, because I just love to get more information on how to grow my business, how to make my business better, how to develop myself as an entrepreneur. I love that kind of stuff. And that's the kind of thing I want to share with you right here on this podcast as well. Same with on the YouTube channel and in the blog. So here we are. And I would love to know what podcasts you listen to. What are your favorite podcasts? Please tell me at the Tutor Hustle for Teachers Facebook group. You can let me know on there. You can message me on Facebook at Kelly Michelle. You can send me an email at tutorhustleforteachers@gmail.com. I'd love to know what podcasts you listen to, and I'd love to know if you have any ideas for topics to talk about in our brand new podcast, because I love to talk about stuff that you are interested in and share that content that is useful for you. So please drop me a line and let me know. Now, on to our topic about podcasts. There are a few really great podcasts out there for tutors that I love to listen to, and I'm going to share them with you in case you haven't heard about them. But I'm guessing that you probably have, because they are popular in the tutoring world. The first one, probably the most popular one in the tutoring world, is Michael Gibben's Coach for Tutors podcast. Michael Gibben, Coach for Tutor podcast, is one of my favorite podcasts because he's just a wonderful person, and he really cares about tutors, and he shares such valuable information with us on his podcast and in his Coach for Tutors Facebook group as well. And he always has really terrific guests, and I love that. Like, he finds guests from all over the tutoring world to come and share their thoughts and ideas, their success stories, and it's just really, really inspiring. I love the Coach for Tutors podcast, and if you haven't listened to it, I highly recommend that you do. I'm going to put a link to that podcast in the description box of this podcast so that you can have a listen. It is my favorite tutoring podcast out there, and I love it so much. I wanted to share it with you. Joanne Kaminsky also has a podcast. Can you believe that? She has a really awesome YouTube channel, as I'm sure many of you know, and she also has a podcast, which is really cool because, like I said, when you can't watch YouTube, you can listen to a podcast. So I'm going to link her podcast in the description box as well. And you know, Joanne Kaminsky has like amazing information on all things tutoring, whether it is in her YouTube channel or her Facebook group, the Ultimate Support Group for Online Tutors, and on her podcast. She is a great resource for tutors. So I'm going to link her podcast as well. And then another podcast that I love to listen to and that I really, really love to follow along with is my friend Sheryl Uehling's podcast, Tutoring with Sheryl. And Tutoring with Sheryl is a fairly new podcast because Sheryl is, like me, fairly new to the tutoring world. I'm just I'm at about a year and a half into my business, and I think she's been around for about the same amount of time. And I love listening to her journey, all the way from like how she started to where she is now. Sheryl is amazing at creating content, and she's all over. She's on TikTok, she's on YouTube, she's on Facebook, she's on Instagram. She has her podcast, she has a great website, a fantastic newsletter. She's like an amazing content creator, and she puts out really great stuff. And on her podcast, she talks about her own tutoring service. So if you are a math tutor, there's lots of great information. She's a really fun tutor. She has like a really fun approach to teaching, and she loves to use games and things like that to keep kids engaged. So definitely you can pick up some tips for math tutoring there. But not only that, she's had quite a few guests now on her podcast, and her podcast is growing. And I love to listen to a podcast from the beginning and then see how it grows. That is so cool. I hope that happens with my podcast and you're listening to the first episode. I hope you'll be able to see the same thing. So I love to hear about Sheryl's tutoring journey. Like, she shares her own journey on the podcast. She interviews so many guests and they share their journeys and what they're up to. And that's really cool because it's nice to listen to what other tutors are doing. And, you know, you can get some ideas from them and some inspiration. So it's really nice to hear that. So definitely check out Tutoring with Sheryl. I'll link her podcast as well. It's a really exciting one because it is a little bit newer and growing. And so we can jump in at this incredible growth stage and listen along with Sheryl's journey. And I think that is really, really exciting. So I'm going to link that for you in the description box as well. Definitely check that one out. And now, a not really tutoring podcast, but related to tutoring and related to business, and this is a big podcast that I like to listen to, is Denise Duffield Thomas's Chill and Prosper. Chill and Prosper with Denise Duffield Thomas. And Denise Duffield Thomas, if you know who she is, of course, she's not a tutor. She is a money mindset coach. So think about that and how that could benefit us as tutors, especially tutors who are coming out of the classroom, who have been classroom teachers and maybe have adopted a lot of that like poor teacher mentality and that mentality of giving and never asking for anything in return, which leads to some poor relationships with money. I know I definitely have gone down that road, and that's something that I'm working on myself. So Denise Duffield Thomas can really help you work through any of that type of mindset that you might have around money. And she also gives some great business tips, like not just for tutors, but for anyone who has their own business, whether it's big or small. You can take her tips and apply it to your business as well. And I do that quite often. I find she gives a lot of really helpful tips about saving time and how you can make the greatest use of your time in your business. And not to mention the tips about money and money blocks and money mindset. That stuff is all really, really helpful. So definitely check out her podcast, Chill and Prosper with Denise Duffield Thomas. It will really help you grow as an entrepreneur. And guess what? Now you have your own tutoring business and you are an entrepreneur. Can you believe it? It seems like a huge leap. I know it was for me because when we're teachers in the classroom, like the last thing we think about being is an entrepreneur. That's like a dream, a far distant dream. But when you start your own tutoring business, that is exactly what you are, an entrepreneur. And you have a lot of freedom as an entrepreneur. And you also have a lot of power as an entrepreneur because you're your own boss, right? And you are in charge. But what did Uncle Ben say from Spider-Man? With great power comes great responsibility. So you also have a lot of responsibility as an entrepreneur, especially the responsibility of learning how to start, grow, run, take care of, nurture your business. And these podcasts that I've mentioned can help you with all of that. They can help you achieve all of that. They're really great learning opportunities for entrepreneurs and especially for tutor entrepreneurs like us. So check them out. Michael Gibben, Coach for Tutors, Joanne Kaminsky's online tutor coach podcast. I will link that below because I'm not sure if that's exactly what it's called, but definitely check it out. And Tutoring with Sheryl, the amazing journey of Sheryl's tutoring business. Her podcast is really great. And Chill and Prosper with Denise Duffield Thomas. Check them all out. I'm going to link all these podcasts below in the description so you can check them out for sure. And I want to tell you about a special event that we are having at Tutor Hustle for Teachers in the month of June. And this is a coaching event because do you ever find that sometimes you want to get coaching for your business? Coaching is really important. It's really helpful. I've had coaching with some really amazing tutor coaches, like some of the best, and I'm so grateful for it. And I love coaching and I think it's a wonderful thing. But sometimes I want to get coaching and I just want to pick somebody's brain or just want to share an idea with them. And I don't want to buy like a really big package and spend a lot of money and time on it. I just want, just a little quick session to bounce some ideas off someone or pick someone's brain. So I have created that for you in Tutor Hustle for Teachers. I've created a mini coaching session that is just 30 minutes. We can get a lot done in 30 minutes, okay? And you are welcome to join me. You're welcome to pick my brain. What are you going to pick my brain about? Why would you want to pick my brain? Well, you can pick my brain about Facebook advertising because I have advertised my business since it started in November 2021 on Facebook for free. And I have consistently had about 20 students on my tutoring roster each and every month. And that's all from free Facebook advertising. So if you're curious about how I do it, you're welcome to sit down and pick my brain about it and share some ideas about Facebook advertising. I tutor groups. That is like the core of my business, or at least most of the core of my business, I should say, is group tutoring. It's a big part of my business. So you're welcome to ask me anything about group tutoring. I'd love to share those ideas with you. You can ask me about tutoring policies. You can ask me about websites. You can ask me about using Google Slides and Google Jamboard for online tutoring, because that is how I do my online tutoring. So you can ask me all of these questions. And if you want, you can share your tutoring dreams with me. And I'd love to help you put together a plan to make those dreams come true. So these are all the things we can accomplish in this mini coaching session. Can you believe it? In just half an hour? Yes, we can. And for the month of June, because this is like a new thing, this whole idea of mini coaching, minimal time, minimal money investment, maximum results. For the month of June, I'm going to be giving you 35% off. So go to my website, tutorhustleforteachers.com/store, and look for that mini coaching session right there. You will see it is $75 Canadian. And if you use the coupon code coaching35, you will get 35% off. So that brings the cost down to less than $50 the session. And that is for the month of June only. And then the code will expire. So I'm going to link that in the description box below as well. June 2023, if you're listening to this way off in the distant future, the mini coaching session. So check it out. And now my final thought for you on our very first podcast episode, episode 1, my final thought for you is this. There are so many great tutor coaches out there and so many wonderful tutors that we really need to come together and learn from each other. So get on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, get on Facebook and join the Tutor Hustle for Teachers Facebook group. Join Michael Gibben's Coach for Tutors. Join Michael Gibben's Coach for Tutors Facebook group. Join Joanne Kaminsky's Ultimate. Okay, my final thought for you is this. There's so many great tutors out there and so many great tutor coaches to learn from. And there's so much information that you can get for free. So definitely take advantage of that. Go onto Facebook, join the Tutor Hustle for Teachers Facebook group, and learn from the tutors that are there, share ideas, network. It's so important for growing your business. Join Michael Gibben's Facebook group and join Joanne Kaminsky's Facebook group. Michael and Joanne are, in my opinion, like the best tutor coaches ever. They are so generous with their information and their knowledge and their time, and they have so much information to share in both of their Facebook groups, and I'm going to link them both below in the description box. So definitely check them out, join their groups, listen to the podcasts that I have mentioned here, and you can get so much information from there to help you grow and start your business. And follow my friend Sheryl Uehling. I'm going to link all of her stuff, TikTok, YouTube, her website, all that. She has so much content. Follow her and see what she's up to, because she's a huge inspiration for creating content for your own tutoring business. So learn from other tutors, network with other tutors, get out there and create a network of tutors around yourself, and you're going to learn so much, and your business is going to be just that much more joyful because you won't be alone. You will be with your colleagues, with other tutors. Thank you so much for listening to episode 1 of the Tutor Hustle for Teachers podcast. And I hope that all your tutoring dreams come true. Happy tutoring, everybody. Bye.